What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Angelo Carlos podcast. I'm here with my boy Matt. Matt is actually a ex-consultant at Deloitte as well as Boston Consulting Group, and he's going into venture capital now. He's actually also my classmate at UCLA Anderson. Matt, welcome to the Angelo Carlos podcast. How's it going, brother?
Thanks, Angelo. Good.
Good to see you. Good to see you. So I've been actually trying to get Matt on the podcast for such a long time, man. He is probably one of the most kind of smartest and experienced people I know, especially in the realm of consulting. A lot of people want to kind of get into that consulting field, and he's been at Deloitte as well as Boston Consulting Group, two of the biggest consulting firms. So Matt, I want to actually start with consulting, right?
Mhm.
You mentioned you started your career at Accenture, another huge consulting firm. We had Ryan on the previous podcast talking about his time at Accenture. So why don't you tell us about how you got started in consulting? How did you get that role at Accenture?
Sure. Well, thanks for the nice words, first of all. Really appreciate that. That's a very gratuitous of you. So I got started at Accenture when I was in New York. Before I moved to LA and started at UCLA, I was living in New York City, and I was working for a SaaS startup, which, SaaS stands for software as a service. And naturally, in professional environment in Manhattan, you start meeting people who are, go-getters and who are really obsessed with their careers. And naturally, through one way or the other, I heard about consulting. I heard about the lifestyle, the travel, the exposure to different projects, the different industries, to different executives across organizations. And so I kind of got obsessed with it, started doing a lot of research and meeting people in the industry. And then from there, I just started applying. And then I got into Accenture for an interview. I just prepared for like 2 weeks straight after work every day. And that process was like, at the time, 7 or 8 different steps, including what's called a skills-based interview where they grill you, behavioral interview, a project, and then a final MD sign-off. And then, that's how I got my start in consulting.
That's crazy. So what was the application process like at Accenture? And then what role did you kind of come into? Can you walk us through that?
Yeah, so at Accenture, they're like a massive organization. They actually employ, at the time, I don't know if it's the same, but it's probably similar, around 500,000 people around the world.
Wow, that's crazy.
They have deployment centers like in India and like other places as well that has a lot of headcount. But for the Accenture application process, like any major corporation, you need to make sure you have those keywords in your resume. You need to make sure you're highlighting relevant skills, and then kind of consultify your resume. Because a consulting resume is very different than, if you were like a PM at a tech company.
Yeah. Can you talk about that consulting resume? I have a lot of undergrad friends here at UCLA and as well as grad school friends at UCLA who want to kind of get into consulting. How did you construct your resume to make sure that the people at Accenture see that this is a profile we want to interview?
For sure. So I first looked at the job description, and that's really like a North Star, like in all my applications.